Looks like things have loaded in. Hi there, Pandora. As in the wing of protection has been keeping a beady eye on you, so you've been making yourself useful. That your adventures have taken you to nigh on every corner of Terrell. Cognac Tail, I hear, land of my people. I know how dangerous those woods can be, not only for the tales of my ancestors, but from the bills on the board too. Think you're ready to take on a bigger challenge? That's spirit. Alright then, let me tell you what these intimidating marks are all about. Beginner marks can be taken down by any hunter or mercenary, but there's ones that call for a mite more preparation. I'm not just talking physically, but mentally too. If you're going to risk your life going after these beasts, it's important to know what you're risking it for. So everything thinks they're ready to move on from beginner builds taught first. She's a master huntress and mentor to would-be vipers. You find her down at the Gleam Sands. Look for the bell with the cobalt fur and ask her to tell you our history. Well, I never to think I run into you in Terrell of all places. I'm from the stadium's facility of biology. I've seen you before back in Old Charlian. Oh, that reminds me, you'll have to forgive the impudence, but that just so happens to be a matter I could use your help with. I'm researching Terrell's ecosystem, and I'm currently on the hunt for one creature in particular. The truth, I've barely set foot on this land, and before I made my discovery. Alas, as I was trying to secure the specimen for study, it got away from me. It has a somewhat particular cry, to say the least. The creature itself is covered in a tawny brown fur and is rather small in stature. The strangest thing is, I asked about the locals whatever they heard of such an animal, and they seemed quite baffled. You don't happen to know of a creature I speak of, do you? Giant, you say? I should very much like to behold such grandeur with my own eyes. I shall conduct an extensive search of the port, which is where I first saw the creature. Might I ask you to search the high ground, the residential district known as Repleasant Court? You have business with me, Outlander? Well, Oakwa sent you, and more meat for the marks. Though you look to have a little more about you than most. Well, if you're dead set on devoting yourself to the Dawn hunt, I should let you know a bit more about it. Where to begin? You might say at the beginning, but it's hard to put a pin in it exactly when that was. Even before Koana brought the system of marks and bills over for Eorzea, our people were hunters. Not just for food, but for safety, hunting down the ill-made monstrosities whose very existence was incomparable to our own. It was for that very purpose that the Vipers came to be. The finest hunters and Terrell banded together to hone their skills and their blades and devoted their lives to stalking and slaying of fiends. At first we were no more than a fellowship of like-minded folks who take it upon themselves to deal with any danger they caught wind of. It was only after Garul, Jaja, united Terrell under the Dawn Servant's crown that our role as protectors of the realm was made official. The mission started pouring in from Nessolini to Dawntrail, but we didn't have the numbers to answer them all. That's when Koana proposed we bring in the system we had in Eorzea, calling out adventurers and mercenaries to handle those threats we couldn't. If there's a point in this little history lesson, it's this. Many folks join the hunt, seeking adventure or glory or fortune. But from the very beginning, whatever that was, it's been about one thing or the one other thing, protecting those who can't protect themselves. Don't forget that. And one more press that I make with every Viper to train under me. Don't you get yourself killed. We hunt to save lives, not throw them away for no good reason. Again, that's enough memorializing from me for one day. It's about time I headed back to Dawntrail. Come and drop by if you ever in the area. Sorry if you're hearing me move a lot. My knee's been hurting for the past few days. I just kind of just woke up one day and my knee's just been hurting ever since. Back already, are you? Did tell you everything you need to know? Good to hear. We don't hunt to kill, we hunt to live. Remember that and you'll be fine. Speaking of which, I took the opportunity to update the ledger. You're approved to take on intimate marks now. Good hunting and good luck. Okay. What do you sell? Blue coat. Cat. Wild riding. Parenting. Is that it? Just those two? Oh, you also have a Blades Expulsion. Orchestra roll. I'll take the orchestra roll. I'm going to be here a lot, so. Already at level 98. And we got, what was that? Upgraded, yeah, enhanced Adel. Omit Traveler, couldn't help but notice you're staring at my crops there. Dabble in a bit of sowing and growing yourself. How about running a quick errand for me? By way of thanks, I'll share some of the known how we local farmers have cultivated over the years. Alright, it all starts with compost, and then where you can come in, I need you to get a hold of the makings that go into the mulch, and you can't go wrong with alpaca manure. No need to look so worried. I'll get the dung delivered from the alpaca stables later. What I want you to do is go around and collecting vegetable scraps for me. I've got an arrangement with some of the eateries here in Terrell. You see, I need to pay a visit to Zebra Tiv and T's Tacos. I think you can do that for me. No, that's guidance from the journal, duty list, and map will be noted. No. If you ever look at my maps and see that there is like one like that, that is because I have not done them. I do not do riddles. can give me a map and send me on my way, but I will not sit in a city and if I'm forced to read. You can blame the one in Realm Reborn for why I don't do these. Topia's after his vegetable scraps Izzy, say no more. I appear to be trapped. To make a decent taco, you can't cut corners when it comes to meat and spices, but vegetables are just as vital. Mine are packed full of the best product you can get, and all grown by Tapiera himself. We business owners have to look out for one another after all. Now, it's gonna be some days before these people are gone. The crafters group. Yet to have send you, I made sure to set aside all the scraps and peelings you need. They're yours for the taking. Of course, there's plenty of traders selling vegetables at Bayside Bevy, but being able to source our produce straight from seafoam fields is a real boon for us. Does it come much fresher than that, I tell you. If I ever can convince my friend to play this, then I probably will do those ones, but otherwise I won't. The only one I have done has been the Carbuncle one. That's only because it is a Carbuncle. The vocal varmint and his companion seem willing to follow you. Lead the pair back to the determined naturalists at High Tide Harbor. I'm going to turn everybody into beavers. Small talk. Brilliant, simply brilliant. No one, but two. I only spotted a single specimen earlier. Then did I think there'd be another lurking nearby? They both seem remarkably docile. What a marvelous stroke of luck to be reunited with my quarry so quickly. This rather vindicates my decision to travel all this way. See, our professor recently absconded, leaving me and my fellow researchers vying for the newly vacated position. This is just what I need. If I can work this discovery into a paper, it will do wonders for my standing within the facility and put me on one class over to a tenured position. Suffice it to say, I'd be keeping a close eye on these two and tending to them with the utmost care. I can't wait to conduct a thorough study. Here's the thing, the Echo allows us to talk to animals, but we can't talk to them. What does your Echo allow you to do? To understand all languages. Anything else? No. Back with my scraps, are you? A portion of colorful vegetable peelings from one of the Dawntrail's eateries, now destined for the composting. Much obliged. Now, with a little heat and time, these odds and ends make a fine compost, but that's not all they're good for. Spread them straight onto the soil, and they make for a decent fertilizer in a pinch. That's what folks used to do in the olden days, anyhow. But then the head of reason and his companions got to putting their knowledge of plants and whatnot to use, sowing the seeds of the composting techniques we use today. I named this farm Seafoam Fields for good reason. The salty ocean air brings with it plenty of minerals, which help the plants thrive. All it takes beyond that is a bit of compost to bring out the best in the soil. With all these scraps, I should be set for a good while. Appreciate the help, traveler. For what it's worth, I hope you learned a thing or two from all my prattling on. Inventory. Yeah, we did. Yeah. while somebody has a hatching bunny. Welcome back, and may I congratulate you on Woklamont's victory in the right of succession. It is our great honor to host the comrades of our future Dawn servant. Such a grand journey has doubtlessly left you fatigued. Please relax and enjoy your stay. Later that evening, or sometime later... Oh no, I wasn't paying attention. Surprised to see me? I suppose it's only natural. May I come in? I haven't properly thanked you. That my sister was able to realize her potential is testament to the quality of her traveling companions. Precisely you. For that, you have my heartfelt gratitude. Looked at all the work. I was just moral support. My primary business in calling is to deliver a message from Lamati. As you well know, after the Ascension ceremony, she will officially take up the mantle of Dawn Servant. She has expressed a desire for you to accept a post within her admission, while making no mention of me. You need to decide immediately. My sister will broach the matter with you again after the ceremony. Whether you continue to assist Lamati or not is up to you. That is all, if you excuse me. You have become someone irreplaceable to her. As her brother, I acknowledge that with no little jealousy. But believe me when I say that I hope you will stay by her side. I just want to get a passport to go across the bridge. Big bridge. Me want to go to big bridge. Don't you think I forgot about that? Me go on big bridge. And thus it arrived. The day of the Dawn Servant Ascension ceremony. I don't know why this is not voiced. Why isn't any of this voiced? Aaronville! Where the fuck are you? Oh, there you are.
Crowd, as befits the changing of Dawn servants.
It's starting.
The Dawn Servant!
Look! He's here!
The head of reason is resting again. Thought he'd grace us for this occasion at least. people of Tuliolal, you honor us with your presence. For on this auspicious day, we witness the dusking of one era and the dawning of the next. The succession of Dawn servants. But I've talked for long enough. Allow me to present the claimant, whose determination, wisdom, and compassion guided them to triumph and the city of gold. My daughter, Wuklamat. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Long live the Dawn servant! Long live Tuliolal!
Growing up in this city, I used to think I knew all there was to know about Tulihiolal. But my journey showed me how much I had yet to learn about the cultures, histories, and aspirations of this nation. Through the time-honored Ihana, the Hanuhanu taught me how they nourish and cultivate both the land and their bonds with visitors. And with their alpacas and tradecraft, the Pelupelu showed me the depths of their patience and fortitude, to know when to push through and when not to push your luck. From the Moblins and their artisans, I gained insight into the power of creativity, that it is when we are filled with passion and bolstered by the support of others that we produce our best works. And in Kozamauka, I was moved by the history and hopes of the Yokhui, who believe that death isn't the end, that we live on so long as we're remembered. I felt joy and harmony in Yaktel when I tasted Shebruk Pibil, the dish that marked the beginning of peace between the Shebral and Mamurja after centuries of warfare. And I felt sorrow in Mamuk when I met with those who placed their faith in the promise of blessed siblings, and for this were burdened with great suffering. Through the understanding we forged, I'm hopeful that they will find what they seek through friendship and community. For we are all Turali.
Understanding with Mamuk? What sorcery did she use on them?
All of which is to say that, as I've come to know our nation, I've seen the ways in which we thrive and the ways in which we still struggle. Some in Kozamauka must resort to banditry to survive. A faction of Yokhui still cling to dreams of conquest. Not everyone lives in peace and plenty. And there's still so much of Tulihiolol I don't know. Places I haven't seen, and people I haven't met. That's why I hope to keep learning about and from you, that we might build a nation where everyone knows happiness. Because if there's one thing my journey has taught me, it's that your happiness is my happiness! say mine, but the Dawn servant doesn't need to be a single person, does it?
Oh dear. What is she doing?
Yeah. My father led Tulihiolau to prosperity by the resolve and reason of his 2 heads. But my 1 head can only get us so far. To further change our nation for the better, I'll need someone else. Someone with the knowledge and insight that I lack. So what do you say? Be Dawn servant with me, Kona?
Ramachi, are you certain?
Absolutely. You take reason, and I take resolve. Together, we make a full Dawn servant.
You'll have no objections from me, of course. But mine is not the approval you need.
During my time abroad, I experienced the benefits of foreign technologies, some of which I introduced to our nation. Dirigibles now soar the sky in the south, while locomotives traverse the land in the north. I was convinced that by imitating foreign powers, we could assert our strength and thereby deter invasion. Yet despite my intentions, I failed to understand what I was too eager to cast aside, and the very people I wish to protect. My own journey has taught me that culture isn't a hindrance to progress, but a shared value that binds us, connecting lives and generations. With your blessing, I vow to help Tulihiolau prosper in a way that honors the hopes and heritage of all her peoples. My esteemed predecessor would accept nothing less. For ultimately, I harbor the same wish as my sister. To give you cause to smile. That is my heartfelt desire.
Glad this didn't go to waste. This is the Lay of Legacy, the part of the Tulihiolau saga where you and I become the next Dawn servant.
Heavens! Don't tell me this is what kept you so busy ahead of the ceremony.
Just so you know, I didn't decide this on a whim. After reflecting on all we've been through, I realized it was the only answer.
With this, both my brother and I have worthy successors. He would have been proud. Of course you knew. It's been 3 years since my brother left us.
It cannot be. The head of reason is no longer with us.
Oh, tragic tidings.
I didn't want to believe it.
I'm sorry I never told you. We wanted the people to rest easy until our successor could be chosen. Planning the right was my brother's final duty. He was determined for it to serve the nation's best interests, and labored nigh without cease. And then he died, forcing me to do the actual work. A sneaky bastard. But he did well. I have to give him that. The outcome speaks for itself. Though not quite to the original script, your new Dawn servant rises. May they shine resplendent, and their rule bring light ever greater to Tuliolo.
While Clement was brilliant up there, weren't she? Part of the second promise was surprising, but between the two of them, I dare say our new Dawn servants will be capable of anything. The future of Dawntrail is bright indeed. I'm more concerned about the adverse effects of having a dead head. Like, did he go brain dead? I have so many questions! Earlier in the forest,
Change is in the air, and it's all because of our little firebrand. Every Ilmer father's daughter, that one. I'll be watching where you steer this nation, lass. With what time I've got left.
turns to dust, and the dust just swirls away. And this is when he gets ambushed. New music. While Lugmok truly came into her own, has she not? Indeed, even as she moved the people with her heartfelt words, she retained her charismatic spontaneity, as evidenced by her nomination of Koana as fellow Dawn servant. As sudden as it was, I would like to believe she gave it all due consideration. Still she could do far worse. Completed every feat except the last, and that he only forfeited to help Avok secure victory. I look forward to seeing how Tuliol will prosper under their care. Everyone, thank you for coming. I can see you all perfectly from up there. That was an impressive speech, Dawn Servant. I told you, no titles. Besides, after everything we've been through, you're nothing less than family. So like my family does, I'd like you to call me Lamati. I'll try to pronounce it correctly. Oh, don't worry about that, however you'll say it. I know it will be with love. If we do mispronounce it, please correct us, but it would be an honor to call you Lamati. Mine as well. Indeed, considering us your Eorzean cousins, if such a notion appeals to you. Eorzean cousins. It's a little embarrassing, but not in a bad way. There's still lots I'd like to say, but I need to make my rounds first. I want to thank my supporters who are visiting for the occasion. Could you wait for me here? Of course, we'll keep ourselves entertained. What about my papers? That said, what do you join me, Zedman? Wonderful. Come and meet me outside the winged walk, then. Gotta keep an eye out for the cold servant. Ready? Let's go. Our first up is Auntie's Tacos, and not just for a snack, I promise. Wokavu and May Blue should be there. We're on the journey to find the Corn 7. Right. Oh, right, that's the crafting stuff. Dawn Servant, walk Lamont. Words cannot express express the profound joy your ascension has brought me. No need for formalities, I'm still the same old me. Alright then, I shall forgo formalities. But I cannot, you're a Dawn Servant, too disrespectful, and it is to address you without your due title. As Dawn Servant, I'm ordering you not to bother with formalities. Alright then, I won't bother anyone. I can more easily converse with a drunken alpaca. Thank you for helping Woklomot become a Dawn Servant, Zedman. Political opinions in our community may have been divided, but a Dawn Servant's ascension presents us all with a prime opportunity, which is why I convinced everyone to participate in a communal sales campaign. A wonderful plan, no? My first big undertaking as a merchant. I do like the sound of a sale, so like as I am not persuaded to buy too much. It's so good to see all of you again. I wanted to thank each of you for your help. The feat of reeds and the feat of gold were my first true tests as a claimant, and if not for your guidance, I would have failed the rite of succession before I fully understood its importance. Now that you've given me a taste for celebrating culture, I can't wait to see what else Dawntrail has to offer, in Dawntrail, for instance. As always, you must observe proper etiquette. I would be happy to offer my services as tutor, should you desire them. I can think of no better instructor. I'll be sure to bring Kwana as well. Your duties as Dawn Servant will be plentiful, but don't forget your promise to attend Akihana next season. Of course, I wouldn't miss it. When I've made a name for myself as a merchant, I'll come by the palace and tell you about my biggest sales. And I'll look forward to it. I have been personally attending to your alpaca's care. Dare we hope to see you at the ranch again? Tell my fluffy spit-filled friend that Lamont will visit soon. Anyway, you have to excuse us. Oh, you haven't seen Fontaine around here, have you? A tall, slim fellow with long, pointy ears. He has short, pointy ears. I saw a man matching that description by the weapons dealer and Bayside Bevy, and the company of a moblin and a pair of yokai, if I remember correctly. Bayside Bevy, got it. Enjoy the festivities, everyone, and the tacos. I guess I could just go and check my mail if the mail is even loaded in. So we got market board. Yeah, where we stood ranked amateur, now stands very well. Mail carrying caboose. Yeah, I suppose one of those. Only 6 days ago. Dawn Servant Zeman, you honor us with your presence. Thank you for coming, everyone. I knew the journey to Dawntrail isn't a short one. Long road worth travel to congratulate new Dawn Servants. To hear the head of reason had passed brings me sorrow, but we who remember him will ensure he lives on. May the accolades of this day be as offerings to the future he envisioned. The High Luminary and I attend on behalf of the Volar Echo. Had our people come in mass, we would have been an obstruction. Nonsense, you're always welcome, all of you. This is your city as much as anyone's. I'm glad to see you hale and whole, Zedman. Though I know little of the particulars, I can only imagine your latest adventure has been long and colorful. Beginning with near shipwreck, if you'll remember, yet here we stand celebrating the ascension of your clans. When my journey began, I thought only of preserving the peace that my father worked so hard to create. But the feat of pots and the feat of proof and the feat of ice showed me that peace is not simply the absence of war. Being able to live together in safety and happiness, that was what my father envisioned for this nation. That is Terrell I want for you all. So I promise you this, as Dawn Servant, I will do everything I can to bring that same happiness to the bandits in Kazamoka and the hill of Chiragar Salt. I can't forsake them. I won't forsake them. As I was moved by your father's influence, so too may the Chiragar come to accept your peace. Their belief have stood for a millennium. While not easily shifted, neither are they immutable. Well, I can be pretty determined. They'll come around eventually, mark my words. I can vouch for the efficacy of such determination. Thanks to the Moblin's hospitality, I have been able to rediscover the joy of my craft and honor my father's legacy. Now that good living is secure, the village overflows with feel smiles. Such cooperation between help hands and potsworn is the very spirit of a healthy pot pact. A partnership like yours is bound to be fruitful. I look forward to seeing the fantastic pieces you produce. There are some other people I'd like to see, so we should take our leave. Let's try and find Hunumuruk. Zerberex, I believe I saw him on the stands below. Sands below, not stands. The Glimmer Sands, thank you. The Glim Sands. Enjoy your time in the city, and remember, this will always be your home too. Oh, at least one of them spawned. My, you honor us with a personal visit. Dawn Servant, congratulations upon your ascension. No, none of that. My title may have changed, but I'm still Woklamot. More than just, I'd say. You have grown into a leader fit of this nation. Your father must be proud. I hope so. But big events like this make me wonder, you know, what my birth parents might say if they knew. I imagine they would say that it fills their heart with joy to see the strong, compassionate woman you have become. Owe you my thanks as well for fulfilling your promise to me. I told Bakul Jaja to stay with us so we could all congratulate you in person, but he marched off muttering something about not being able to face you just yet. The boy needs purpose beyond catering to the demands of others. He was always too obliging for his own good. I'm sure he'll find it in his own time, especially if he knows his family is there for him. That we are. By the by, have you seen Kitaram anywhere? Or Tankwa, that is. Kitaram was a strong name, if a bit exotic. We called upon him before leaving Mamuk, but he wasn't at home. I don't recall seeing him at the ceremony either. The first promise was notably absent as well, though I assumed he required time to solve his injured pride. Everyone thought he'd be the one to succeed Papa. My victory must have come as quite a shock to him. As for Tenkwa, I'm sure he's around here somewhere, or ready to appear when we least expect him. We'd best be going, but relax, enjoy, and make yourselves at home, and come and visit us anytime. Alright, I think I found everyone I could find. Let's return to the others in the winged walk. I like to think that the way I'm seeing is actually the thing that kind of looks like a crystal on there. That's how we're actually seeing anything. Welcome back. I hope you didn't rush on our account.
Seen everyone you wanted to see?
I have. Sorry for keeping you all. Now, there's just one last matter. What Kona spoke to you about. I'm sure he made it abundantly clear, but I'm completely serious. I want you to stay in Tulichola with me. I'm not forcing you, of course. But should you wish it, you'll always have a place here. Ah, that's right. This is for you. A permit granting passage to Shatural, which, as I recall, you've yet to see.
Finally!
An adventurer like you could hardly resist, no? I can't believe our journey is over already. You accepted me as a comrade and stood with me to the end. You have my eternal gratitude. Thank you. Well, I had better get going. I need to start learning all my official Dawn servant duties. I'll be sure to share what my old man says about the Golden City too, once he tells me. Till then, feel free to pass the time as you like.
For now, I will remain in Tural. There's someone I'd like to see before returning to Sharlayan.
What about the rest of you?
Alize and I also intend to remain a while longer. As educational as this experience has been thus far, we feel there are even more lessons to be had for Garlemald. By hearing about the peace your father facilitated, and then seeing you reforge relations with Mamuk, we were reminded of a profound truth. That is, acceptance begins with understanding.
And, like you demonstrated throughout the rite, there are unexpected yet effective ways for two sides to understand each other. The question is how to encourage it. And by seeing more of this nation born of unity, we hope to find some hints.
Personally, I can hardly wait to learn more about the City of Gold. So, if I may, I'd like to stay in Tula Yolal as well.
By all means. Your rooms are at your disposal for as long as you need them.
And what of you? Thinking of touring Shaktural, perhaps? Of course. You're hardly the type to leave half a continent unexplored.
Then perhaps we could travel together? The person I intend to meet is my mentor, so I'll be visiting my hometown in Shaktural. If you have no particular destination in mind, I'd be happy to guide you en route.
Then it's farewell for now. Take care, all of you.
When you're ready, come and meet me at the Shaktural Skygate.
We're friends to the end, you hear me? Friends to the end!
Why do you gotta be so far away? After we get our music thing, I'm gonna be calling it an episode. Past these gates over the bridge lies Dawntrail. You have your permit, yes? Packed and ready? No last minute stops to make before we leave. Forgive me, I'm afraid traveling with the Dawn servant may have scarred me for life. Meanwhile, and deep under the lake, I was half expecting to have his head missing and have the other guy's head there instead. This is the gate to the Golden City. 2 decades ago, your father bade me inscribe a letter to a scholar across the salt petitioning the study of this. When he discovered was something the Dawn Servant feared enough to seal away forever. Or so we thought until the right's objective became the City of Gold. But to think that Tanqua would be entrusted with this safekeeping. Had I known that Dorbling Old Fool carried a set of keystones, we might have spared ourselves those tiresome feats. Great power sleeps here, and with it you shall obtain your birthright. So you say, yet the new Dawn servants succeeded where I could not. Taking their throne will be no easy task. A resilient son underestimates his own potential. There is no need for worry. I have liberated the key from the Dawn Servant's vault. You alone have the means to unlock the gate. You will gain all you were denied. The right your father shade. These bitter memories shall soon be forgotten. Seize your future promise. Open the gate and become the ruler you were destined to be. It's working. If some there can hear me, at last. Who's there? Show yourself. If only I could. Alas, the gate will not open for me. Only the key in your possession can connect us. Then you are the guardian of the city's great power. I do not claim this power is great, but the knowledge I possess is enough to realize any desire to remake worlds. Is that so? Fascinating. Name your price then, for my desire is the world itself. Yes, yes, the resilient sun rises. Together we shall create a nation worthy of our rule. Promise. Why? The useless tool is cast aside. Deliver me a new world, one that bends to my will. As you wish, but in exchange... in exchange, I'll have your world! But yeah, since the key worked for him, but not the guy who was wielding it before. It probably has something to do with genetics. And that's going to be it for now. I'll see you all in the next.